Every year there's this feeling like the world just kind of pauses. It's right on the edge of spring, winter's not totally gone, but you can tell something big has shifted. So today, let's dive right into that exact moment of transition and balance, the spring equinox.
I think this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It is as though the year is holding its breath for a moment. It's not quite winter anymore, but it's not summer yet either. It's just balanced. It's a turning point that I think we can all feel. This tiny pause, this moment of equilibrium, right before everything just bursts into the new season.
Okay, so let's start with the stuff we all notice, right? The little things around us. Let's talk about those familiar signs that tell you, yeah, a change is coming.
And these signs, they're all about your senses. I mean, think about it. You can feel the afternoons getting brighter, even when it's still chilly out. You start to hear the birds chirping a little earlier, breaking that morning silence. And then you see them, those tiny, kind of defiant green shoots poking through the ground. It really feels like the whole planet is just stretching and waking up from a long nap.
Okay, so that brings us to the big question, right? We can feel this shift happening, but what is actually going on? What is this turning point, really, when you look at it from a scientific point of view? Well, a big clue is right there in the name, equinox. It actually comes from Latin, and it means equal night, and that's exactly what it is. It's that special moment in the year when the balance tips, and for a short time, day and night are almost exactly the same length. And that's true pretty much everywhere on Earth.
But to really get it, we've got to zoom out. I mean, way out. Let's pull back from the Earth and take a look at the cosmic dance that's going on, and our planet's journey through space.
Okay, so here's the absolute key to everything. The Earth, it doesn't spin perfectly straight up and down. It's actually tilted, leaning over on its axis by about 23.5 degrees. And that one little fact, that tilt, is the reason for all of our seasons. Simple as that. So, here's how that works. When the part of the world you're on is tilted towards the sun, you're getting hit with more direct, powerful sunlight. The days are longer. That's your summer. Now, when your hemisphere is tilted away from the sun, that same sunlight comes in at an angle, so it's weaker, more spread out. The days are shorter, and that is winter. It's such a simple, elegant system when you think about it.
The equinox, though, that's the special moment right in the middle. It's not about leaning towards the sun or away from it. It's that unique point in our year-long journey where our planet's tilt isn't really pointed at the sun at all. For just a moment, it's almost irrelevant.
So picture the Earth making its lap around the sun. When we hit the equinox, that 23.5-degree tilt is pointed, well, sideways, relative to the sun. So neither the top half, the Northern Hemisphere, nor the bottom half, the Southern Hemisphere, is getting a direct hit. Neither one has an advantage. Instead, the sun's light is shining smack down on the equator, and it spreads out evenly all the way to the poles. It's this perfect moment of solar balance.
And this global balance, it has a really fascinating result. It's a great reminder that what we are experiencing isn't universal. I mean, spring isn't happening for everyone right now. So let's take a look at what's going on the other side of the planet.
Check this out. The seasons are literally a mirror image. So when we, up here in the Northern Hemisphere, are all excited about spring hitting in March, folks in the Southern Hemisphere, Australia, South America, they're actually heading into autumn. And then come September, we just swap. It's a perfect flip-flop. And it's all because of that simple planetary tilt. All right, so let's zoom back in from deep space and get our feet back on the ground. Because all this cosmic stuff, this astronomy, has a huge real-world impact down here. So how does nature, how do plants and animals actually react to this massive planetary shift? I mean, you start seeing it everywhere, don't you? That extra daylight is like a trigger for all these amazing biological responses. You see the buds on the trees getting all plump, just ready to burst. The birds get super busy, all staking out their territory. You might spot frog spawn in ponds. And even the air, I love this description, it just feels softer, like winter's icy grip is finally letting go. So naturally, this is the time of year when all the gardeners out there start to get that itch. You see all this new life popping up, and the big question is it time? Can we finally get those delicate little seedlings in the ground? But the answer is, not so fast. You see, the equinox is a turning point, for sure. But it's not like flicking a switch for warm weather. You can have a gorgeous sunny spring day that's followed by a night with a hard frost, and that frost can be absolutely devastating for those new young plants. Spring is just as much a season of hesitation as it is renewal. Nature is smart.
It doesn't just jump in head first. It moves forward carefully. The plants wait for the soil to warm up just enough. Migrating birds don't all come back at once. They arrive in waves. It's a really powerful lesson in patience, actually.
And this brings us to a final thought here. We've talked about the feeling of spring, and we've talked about the science behind spring. But do those two things have to be separate? Or what if understanding one actually makes the other even better?
There's a really powerful quote here that says, "Scientific explanation does not remove wonder. In fact, it can deepen it." And I think that's so true. The idea that understanding the mechanics of it all, the tilts, the orbit, how the light falls, it doesn't make it any less magical. In fact, knowing why it's happening can make the whole thing feel even more extraordinary.
And that's really the heart of it, isn't it? The equinox is this measurable physical event. It's just physics. But it's also this deeply felt, really significant moment for us as humans. It's where the hard science and our own feelings and experiences, they just meet.
For us, it's a threshold. At least for those of us in the Northern Hemisphere, it's the moment the scales tip for good. From this day forward, for the next 6 months, light starts to win. The days will officially be longer than the nights. It really is a celebration of the light coming back.
So let's just end on this one last question. What if we stop thinking about the laws of physics as just abstract formulas in a textbook? What if we see them for what they really are? The very reason a bird starts to sing at dawn, and the hidden signal that tells a single flower that now is its time to bloom.